Got a walking tour of the Jewish Quarter, so I'm just heading down to the meet location. That hotel is so nice, and they got luggage storage too, so I don't have to walk around with my bag, so that's convenience. Yeah, I'm curious to see the Jewish Quarter. I think I'll see some profound things, learn a lot. Check out this piece of art. It's like a wire mesh, and then there's like a nylon rope kind of cross-stitched onto it to make like a giant cross-stitch wall mural. That's so beautiful. That's so cool. So back when I was in Japan, in Fuchikawa, I sang this song that went like, I'm biking my way downtown, biking fast, because there's too many spiders on the road now. And I get that song stuck in my head for sure once a week. It's super catchy, but also it applies to everything. So I'm like walking to my tour right now, and I'm like walking my way downtown, walking slow, cause I'm a little early for my tour now. It's just kind of like works for everything, man. So I'm at the meet location, and what do you know? It's that pier that I took a nap on the other day. Everything comes full circle. So this morning I'm touring the Jewish Quarter. And here we have memorial plaques of the people that lived in the Jewish Quarter that perished in the camps. And so you can see kind of what camp they were in and how old they were. And it's across from where they used to live here in the quarter. Almost all of these people that perished are younger than me. It's incredibly tragic. So this is the Jewish Council building. It's where when the Nazis came in, they appointed kind of like a Jewish council to kind of enact all the rules that they kind of put on the Jewish community. And they segregated off this Jewish quarter. So all they did was put kind of checkpoints on all the bridges. And like, because Amsterdam's full of canals, it just basically isolated like a little island in Amsterdam. Again, the humanity of these people in the sense of like trying to do your best in a bad situation. And it just all fell apart. Really feel for them. So this is the Holocaust memorial. It's got all these like bricks with the names of people that have perished there. There's like thousands of them. And then there's like little white rocks at the base of the kind of walls. Because it's a Jewish custom to place rocks on top of tombs. So they place them at the base of the tomb here instead. So this area and much of the Jewish Quarter is public housing. Because the families didn't come back, all the houses were left vacant. And so the Amsterdam government converted it into public housing. There's just so many layers to all the different pieces of this whole situation of like the government being like, man, you know, what do we even do now with all these people gone? So many pieces to it. And look at the lean on that house. This is the leaniest building I've seen so far. I hope it comes across on camera. Huge lean. This one's got a little lean. That one's a bit too much. This is a memorial for the Jewish deaf victims outside of the old Jewish deaf school. The Germans came there during a school day, and so like the parents dropped their kids off, and the Germans are like, all right, we're taking all these kids, which is insane. And then the teachers were like, okay, well, you can't just take the kids. So the teachers went with the kids to the concentration camps, which is the wildest story I've ever heard in my life. So these are stumbling stones, like little gold bricks put into the sidewalk that, similar to the Shadow Wall, memorialize the people that used to live there. They are. This is the Holland Theater. During the war, this deportation center for the Jewish people. So they would get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you have to come report for work camp. Bring some work gloves, bring some work pants, bring an apron, stuff like that. And they would come there and get deported out to the concentration camps. So the Jewish council had like a place there where they would be like, oh yeah, you're just heading to work camp. Give us the keys to your house. We'll hold that until you get back. And then they would give the keys to the Germans, and the Germans would go just loot their house right afterwards. It's wild. Also, the adults and children were held in different areas. So the adults are held over here, and then their children are held across the street in another building. This is so tragic. So that tour was certainly one of the more sad things I've ever seen in my life. it was so much. It's so much, but it was like just really tragic, like really tragic historical places where I was like, how am I gonna film it here? Like I just felt so bad about it. Man, it was like, it was crazy. Anyway, back to my hotel now, grab my bags, and then off to the bus to pick up. And that's gonna be a long walk. An hour and a half walk from Amsterdam to the bus pickup. Oh, another interesting history thing that I didn't know is that the Canadians liberated Amsterdam from the Nazis. So, kind of point of pride there. So here's right outside my hotel. A bunch of stumble stones along the street as well. Now that I know what they are, I'm like, it's insane how common they are. It's haunting. Something I find fun about traveling is like talking about Canada. I was telling like the people on the tour, the Heineken tour yesterday, I was like, yeah, I can get down to like minus 50 in Canada. And that was like blowing their minds. They were absolutely blown away by that, so that was pretty interesting. It's also just interesting to think about like, okay, like Saskatchewan's like really dry, and like, okay, the Netherlands are really wet. It's just interesting, that difference even. So many little differences. 1.5 hour walk to bus pickup after walking for 3 hours on tour. My ankles are super jacked up right now, but that's okay. So in Amsterdam, there's stores selling magic mushrooms, and there's a restaurant here where the soup of the day is mushroom. I would be way too scared to try that. My path leads through De Wallen. There's Amsterdam Central Station again. Also, the directions to get here from my hotel were awesome. It was just like, go to this street and then go straight for an hour and a half. So, it was like the easiest directions I've ever gotten. So, in the Anne Frank Museum, they talked about kind of how the families acknowledged the humor of the situation, that it wasn't always depressing or scary to them, that there was kind of humorous and happy moments. And I can just imagine them sitting around like, being like, nobody make a fart. I guarantee that was a joke that they told there, but it was so interesting, that Anne Frank house. So I was asking the guys at Jiu-Jitsu, like, hey, what do you recommend I check out? And one of them recommended this Fabrique de Lumière, but it's an Instagram museum. No more Instagram museums for me. I just thought that was kind of funny. I'm just walking by it serendipitously on the way here. This park is like humongous. It's like 1 kilometer long. It's just so beautiful. Another thing that blows my mind, which I don't know if I've talked about before, but the Dutch are so active. Like everyone's outside, walking around and going for runs. I've never seen a place with more runners. Maybe Mallorca, but everyone's running and biking and walking. Just super active. And I need to Google why bikes are so popular here. Like I don't understand that. There's got to be a cultural reason, but I'm gonna have to look it up. I know I say it on every trip, but it's the moments like this that I weirdly love, like the incredible push, you know? Like I'm walking 2 hours across a foreign city to get to a bus that's maybe gonna show up, and it's just like this big push and this grind in a sense. It's just so fun. It's so fulfilling to push yourself like that. Very fun. Okay, another interesting thing is like, how in the world did I do Europe last year without internet? Like that is an insane triumph. Insane, especially with cars. Like, looking back on that, that's a crazy achievement. I have made it to Dusseldorf. I'm gonna be honest, I am Dussel exhausted. So I'm just gonna get food and go to bed. I am so tired. I'm in the hostel, having supper. I just have some snacks, some little. But I got this German sausage inside of like a pastry. It's crazy. And the German sausage lives up to the hype. This is like really, really good. This is the room. So big. Dude, I cannot sleep, man. Oh my gosh. which I'm attributing to jet lag because like we're 6 hours ahead. So it's like 11 right now, which means my biological clock thinks it's 5 p.m., which is usually when I'm like climbing or fighting or doing stuff like that. So that's what I'm chalking that up to. But I think I got a little nap. It's hard to tell if I fell asleep. So I'm just gonna eat some food and then play some games on my phone and try again. The Anne Frank house, or that Jewish quarters tour, was so fascinating. Oh my god, there was this other Canadian woman sitting at the kitchen table and she was like talking about Quebec and she was like super annoying. I was wearing my Canada shirt and I was like, oh god, please don't know that I'm Canadian. But anyway, ate a bunch of food. Hopefully that helps me sleep. Oh, that's nice though. I've been in a huge calorie deficit lately. And so I think that might be a contributory factor here.